Next up, the final weeks of life on Earth will seem like 1,000 years. There is some good news about climate change. Apple is now run completely on green energy, especially when you consider that child labourers are biodegradable. Developing nations say that rich Western countries aren't doing enough to help them deal with the effects of climate change. But that's not the case. We're going to help them deal with drought by submerging them under the ocean. As the temperature increases, some people say it will be like boiling a frog. But surely in that analogy, the frog doesn't know that the temperature is rising. Humanity is fully aware, but possibly just too depressed to do anything. It's more like boiling a recently divorced 45-year-old man. Sarah, Ramesh, you're both vegan. That's supposed to be the best thing that you can do for the planet, isn't it?
It is supposed to be the best thing you can do for the planet. And it's not just that I'm a vegan. In the last decade that I've been a vegan, I've had 8 boyfriends. Oh, how so many? Overlapping. And all of them are now vegans. One of the things I get online is men asking, "Oh, you're a vegan, so do you drink cum?" Do you get this?
Reply to your emails, Sarah?
Do people ask you that?
Do people ask me if you drink cum?
She sort of hovers above it and dips into it like a hummingbird. Oh my God!
You must say if any of this isn't true, Sarah.
Are you worried about the climate apocalypse?
I am on the one hand. It's not nice to think of it all ending, but so too will sort of Andrew Neil's broadcasting output and stuff like that. So there's a kind of swings and roundabouts feel to it all.
What about you, Desiree? Does it worry you?
Obviously. It will be terrible to live through the earth becoming more and more sort of scorching and there being more and more of a fight over resources. But, you know, I'm just now starting to get out of debt, so I don't have a retirement plan. Like, if things get bad, I'll just go get hit by a 187 bus.
Your plan is to commit suicide?
If things get bad, yes, of course. I don't want to be here at the very end.
My fear about that plan, because I thought about that, with my luck, I'd kill myself and then the government would go, "No, we fixed it."
We just needed to be one person like
Yeah. We did one factual ank and gold for his hand.
Every 2 seconds, we lose an area of rainforest the size of a football pitch. This is a huge problem, unless, like me, you love football. Take a look at these startling reactions to deforestation in this arresting documentary footage.
Deep in the woods of North Carolina, an extremist eco-group called Earth First bewails the violation of American nature.
I want to mourn the loss of all the old growth. That there are some people here who do care. So I want you to know that, trees. That we care.
I've looked at clear cuts and burnt forest, and I felt outraged, but I didn't scream and I didn't cry. And I need to.
If you love trees so much, and you're sad that some of them are gone, why are you going to the ones that remain and being a massive prick around them? I just don't understand what's going on. Do you know what I mean?
Also, white man playing an ethnic drum, always very awkward.
Always the worst. Trees are actually way better than people because they work in networks and they take care of their sick and they're old and they're dying to make sure for the good of the group.
You have watched too much Lord of the Rings.
There's a theory that it's basically like the internet, but with plants, in terms of how deep the roots go in all the channels and how they communicate together, and they know who needs what. That
sort of thing, I've read about this, and it just feels like torture, because apparently they can communicate with each other, but they can't actually really action a lot of stuff because they're trees.
Anyway, 8 million metric tons of plastic end up in our oceans each year. An effective way to cut down on waste is to find creative new ways to recycle, as shown in this uncomfortably close-up home video.
You know, a lot of people throw these away, but a better idea is to take 2 standard-sized water bottles, mine are 1 liter apiece, and you make a pair of shoes. First thing you do, you have to squish it down, get it to the inside. Tie. And there evening. Bye, everyone.
Basically uninvented the shoe. But even if you're just recycling, you could have reused them as bottles.
But then when it pans up, she doesn't look as absolutely bonkers as you might
Yes.
imagine.
No, I expected the camera to pan up. She's got her own shit all over her face.
And also, what happens with your existing shoes? Like, aren't they now
You can use them for bottles.
drinking?
You can fill them with tap water and put them in the fridge. So they can build a dossier of evidence when they come to section you.
You'll try to sneak past them, but they'll hear you. Plastic has a devastating effect on wildlife, as seen in this upsetting seagull autopsy from a hard-hitting film by the UN.
Yeah, the stomach is very, very full, and if we look here, there's some very dark pieces.
Oh, look at that.
Absolutely no doubt that this bird died as a
Stuffed
result
full
of
of
that
plastic.
plastic. That is literally a gut full of plastic.
Jen, I counted 234 pieces of plastic out of that one bird. Is that a record?
Not even close, unfortunately.
I'd like to just stand on a beach throwing away little tiny perfect plastic replicas of that seagull scientist lady in the hope that one day I'd really freak her out.
It is sad. But what I would say is, you know when they show these things with the seagulls full of plastic, and then there's this video where like they go out to the ocean and there's this big sort of island full of plastic and they go, isn't this sad, isn't this sad? I didn't know that it was all getting dumped out there. Do you know what I mean? I followed the instructions. It had the little picture of the guy going to the bin, and I put it in the bin. Now why am I being made to feel like a prick, mate? You told me to do it. It's not my fault. You went and put it in the ocean. I never knew you were doing that. It's not my fault. And also, it's not that sad because seagulls are pricks. Do you know what I mean?
Well, seeing as we've got plastic to get rid of, we could breed lots of seagulls to kind of essentially be a Hoover that commits suicide when it's full.
It's not the worst idea.
Close, though. There is a fair amount of disagreement among experts. Some believe the Earth is doomed, although there are many others who believe it is fucked. One or two, like author Joe Quirk, think everything is going to be okay thanks to this outlandish animated vision of the future.
Long before humanity colonizes Mars, our children will live in floating nations on the sea. The first to seek jobs on ocean farms will be the poorest billion on Earth. They will come to the blue frontier because floating societies will require refugees to survive economically. Mobile land will empower individuals to exit poorly governed societies and choose better ones. Each floating homestead will be a nano-nation, a seastead.
I think that what that goes to show is you can still do animation when you're off your tits.
There are a few flaws in it, aren't there? I mean, for example, refugees, from what we know, aren't great sailors. I mean, are we really going to have less war if there are 10,000 countries all living on seaweed?
It will get very competitive, won't it? The idea that sort of countries can move around. You'll have a situation like where we're chasing Belgium around the Atlantic like wacky races or something like that.
If it's functional, I can see it working in a lot of different places.
We could divide up the entire world according to sort of people's interests and stuff, and it will stop being about nationality and it will stop being about class. It will be about what people actually like, and you can sort of end those kind of divisions by basically having, you know, one sort of thing which is just for people that really like Laser Quest, so then they'll deal with each other. And it will be a completely different world, and I'm actually very optimistic about the future, and that's not how I imagine this evening would finish.
But you have to have like days where you open the gates and let them come on shore to like breed, because you just can't have a bunch of people who are into Laser Quest having babies on one island, because it's going to be one big like mega nerd at the end.
They're all male virgins.
I mean, that's kind of utopian on your part, Miles. I think they'll all be ruled by a different pirate with a different sexual proclivity.
Well, that's the logical conclusion to almost everything.
So, in conclusion, this week, Richard Branson has been tweeting about the environment. I would say, how can you keep a straight face? but his face has never been straight. He looks like someone cast a baboon in a movie about the life of Rolf Harris. Maybe it's time we started looking at being pro-business and pro-environment as opposites. Perhaps we're all annoyed at climate change deniers because they're still at the denial stage of grief, while we've moved on to bargaining. Even our fictional dystopias may turn out to be fantasies. We imagine the Earth will gradually sink into chaos, but non-linear theories of global warming mean it might just be one afternoon of people screaming, then suddenly you disappear under a boiling 100-mile-high wave of sewage flecked with famous landmarks from across the world. Your mind finally silenced by the sudden arrival in the space previously occupied by your forehead of a shit-coloured Taj Mahal. I dropped in to see my friend the other day, and her 4-year-old daughter opened with the words, "The world is dying," in a very sad voice. I said something soothing. I wish I could remember what it was now. Soon she'll learn that it's not really the sort of thing that we find it polite to talk about. That's a great note to end on. My guests, Sarah Pascoe, Miles Jupp, Desiree Birch, and Rona Shurieta!